Alright guys, here's a little lesson in being human. Pay attention to every screw that comes out. I got lost because I'm doing this in a hurry. This screw, and this screw are all supposed to be the small screws. So I'm going to use those. This long screw, I'm paying attention here, was this screw, which I'm no longer using. These other two long screws, I forgot that I had taken one off of the chassis over here. That's why it was a bit longer than the rest of them. So it goes in here. Let's put that in there. I remember this happened before too. There is an alignment issue. This has to be lined up exactly. There you go. Got it. It clicks in. You feel the thread clicking. It's not getting it. What the fuck? Come on. You feel it going in. Why doesn't it want to go in? It's always a tiny bit of movement. What is it? Why doesn't it want to go in? Got it. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to go in. I got it. There's a small alignment problem. I think it's because I tightened all these other ones. I loosened this one up, and that helped. You gotta align this exactly when you're. So before you tighten everything up, put that in there. So let's put this motor plate. I'm surprised this didn't fall off. It actually holds up pretty well. These are the 3 M8s. For the motor. Let's put these in. This one in. Tight. So here we go. You got your dig unit. Bam, bam. So here's one of the things. See, so now that this is in, you notice this one's smaller. It becomes this much closer. So that's the issue right there. So you gotta choose which one you want to cut smaller. You're gonna chop this a lot smaller, right? See? So you want to mark that. You don't want this too small, so I would cut this one, cut it around here. You can maybe cut a tiny bit off of here, cut this one around here, and then you might need to cut a little bit off of these. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I know what I did is eBay. I got some of these. I think if you buy the fronts are smaller. Either way, you're gonna have to cut them off. Oh, I actually think I already put the small one by accident. I put a brand new small instead of the original small one. I do not want to kill this brand new one because I have a few sets, brand new sets I like to keep on me just in case they ever die out on the trails, because when we go out, we go 4 or 5 hours sometimes, and we do bash them a bit. We don't take care of them that much. We love our trucks, but we also like to have fun. So let's change this one. I should probably just delete this. Remember, it's the tiny one. I'm going to leave this out for now. I'll do this a different day. I don't have that much time. Okay. So there we go. That has to be fixed. Now I'm going to show you how to fix this. Maybe we got to measure a few things. Let's take this off. Also, another thing I like to do is I buy this giant case of screws because I mess with stuff so much. I like to play with things and change things, that I buy these giant kits. So what you're going to do is from this to this. Okay? So this one is enough if you're going to do just a nut. We can put just a nut. On mine, I liked carrying it all the way across just for a little extra support. Because doing just one itself could be a little, you're losing a little bit of structural strength, but what's going on here? Yeah. What am I doing? Uh-oh. Alright, so here's another new thing we gotta do. Let's look at my original truck. Here we go. If you look at it, let's turn this around maybe. I cut a little bit off of here. That means this head was rubbing. I don't want to cut this because it's already thin. So shave off a tiny bit right there. So let's do that. Let's take out the blade. I did feel it right away. I couldn't get it all the way. It's rubbing. So we're going to shave some of this off. It's the best way to do it. Big old piece. Chunks. Take a few chunks off of this little hump here. Well, you can probably just drill it out, but I don't want to take the whole thing off because it might be, I don't want you to see it, structurally, a tiny bit of structural force. I don't want to get rid of the whole thing. A tiny bit more. Doing it this way helps too. Shaving it. Maybe a Dremel would be so much faster if you want to do it that way. I'm doing it with a knife. That took a big chunk right there. Okay. So I'm going to take the screw just to test it. It goes in. It's not that big a deal. I'm going to end up using this one. So I'm going to save you a screw. I'll be right back. Like I was saying, this is a box I bought on Amazon. Because I build scratch trucks sometimes. I love this piece. It has 50 pieces of each, like M3s by 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It has all the lengths. M3 is one of the most known for RCs. And it has your nuts. You got washers. I bought a bag of nuts here, so we're going to need this one. We're going to need 2 nuts. Let's take these out. I'm taking them out. Now, I think this length is okay. I don't want to go too long on this one. I'm going to leave that there. But this one, because I'm going to go here, I'm going to go all the way across. Now, if you don't want to go across, let me take out my little measure thing over here. This is a 15 millimeter. That's about a 15 millimeter length. I would go longer here. Minimum, that's what I would do. I think this is an 18. But because I like to go longer and, like I was saying, extra strength, you know, this is where I would go. Just enough to go at least midway in. Do I have a long one? This came with 20s, 22s, 25s, so there's a lot of in-betweens that I have the option to do here. See, that screw hole actually goes into the dig piece. That's too long. I think this is a 22. I believe this is an M20. So we're going to go through here, through there. Now the handy way is if you have some sort of, I'm looking for the screwdriver, some sort of needle nose, grab the nut, put it in. We're doing surgery. Put that in. Hey, what's wrong? Make sure it screws in. Then it's already starting to tighten, but as it's tightening, now it's starting to go in here. But let's make sure this is tight. See, the problem with that is this actually has threads, so it's starting to tighten. So now you gotta back out so this one starts to get tight, because you're doing double threads now. That's good. Nice and tight. You don't want it too tight anyways. Make sure that spins. We're not connected in the front. Perfect. Now we needed another nut. We're going to do this piece. Keep mixing up all my screwdrivers. Let's put this in here. Hold this in place. Nice and tight. You hear that? That means that's not cleared enough. So let's clear that up. We'll be back later. Okay, so I got this in. It's good. Tiny bit of squeak, but that's fine, I think. Go ahead and rub that down for a while. There's just no time for the video. So now I'm going to put the front. I got to show you that this works. So now I'm going to put this in. And I realized I already put the front link in, which doesn't give you any movement in the axle. So I got to take this one off to give a little play for the axle. Sorry, I keep saying axle, the drive shaft. So I'm going to put in the front drive shaft. That's in. Now let's put this link back on, because that shifts the whole axle over. There we go. Now let's go back to the rear. This is the most important part out of everything that I got to show you. You're going to have this one here. These things. So we're going to have this one here. This is obviously a problem. So, just take one of my markers, because I'm going to cut this. So let's do half and half. I don't want it too small. Half. It's too small. Half is about here. Half of this one is around here, but I don't want that too small. So let's say here and here. Hopefully that's enough. And we're going to cut it there. I'll be back.